there is no reason to not be kind to yourself. There's no reason to not be kind to other people.
Is that true?
And so,
Is that true? I mean, I hope it's true. It sounds nice and right, but is that true? Is there is? Oh, let me ask it this way: Why? Why do you say there's no reason to not be kind? Like, what's underneath that? I get it's good to be kind, but what gives you the confidence to use that phrase again to say there's no reason to ever not be kind to yourself or to somebody else?
well, look, I'm not a perfect person. I am on a journey to becoming. And there are a lot of things in the world that anger me. And there are a lot of things in the world that I don't understand and they upset me to my core. And in those moments, I try to think if I could, if I had an opportunity to engage with that person and it was a moment of kindness,
Hmm.
what might that gift extended to them get me in return?
Hmm.
Is it an opportunity to have a hard conversation with somebody about where their hatred is coming from? Is it an opportunity to have a conversation with somebody about why they are resentful about the choices that I have made in my life? Is it an opportunity to have a conversation with someone that might spark something that then has a change? Is it an opportunity to influence or inform? I think so often because they don't speak kindly to themselves or about themselves, it gives them then permission to speak unkindly to or about other people.
Hmm.
And so I think, and I don't want it to sound like super woo or
Hmm.
kumbaya
Hmm. Hmm.
because I'm realistic. I really am. But I think that when we acknowledge that people, even people whose points of view are wildly in opposition to our own, that they are just trying to do their best, it gives us a place to start for conversation.
Hmm. Yeah, I couldn't help to think as you're saying that. I think that kindness word that could carry a lot of weight, and I think people often associate that word with like polite or like
Oh,
there's like a
sure.
very like visible demonstration of what kindness is. Like you're smiling, you're being nice, you're using kind words,
Yeah, yeah.
but I think what I'm hearing you say is like there's a deeper meaning to kindness. It's not that you
Mhm.
don't have accountability. It's not that you don't take issue. It's not that you agree with everybody, right? It's
Right.
this idea of like it's the intention. The intention
Yes.
behind it is I want to get to a better place, and I'm going to be
Yes.
my actions are going to be rooted in that to help stop me from kind of getting off the path towards hatred, towards resentment,
Yes.
towards animosity. And that's a really deep
Yeah.
meaning to it, which I think is powerful in a lot of ways.
Well, the thing is, like, fuck politeness, right? Like, everybody can have manners. That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't mean that you are a kind person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that distinction goes both ways because I think there's a lot of people, I'm sure we know them, and I'm sure we've been them at times,
Oh,
where
sure.
you give yourself that what I would call like a cognitive out to say like I'm a nice
Mm.
person. I'm super polite. I have manners. I hold the door. Whatever it is that you convince yourself,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but you're not actually reflecting on that deeper meaning of kindness, like that intention. Like what's the impact I'm actually having on the world? That's what I find myself thinking
Mhm.
so much when I look around the world today in all directions. Right? Forget that politics, obviously, all the different sides.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Is that you see people and I believe as you said that they're trying their best, or at least they think they are, and they think they're trying to
Hmm.
help the world. But I wish so much they would just step back for a second and look deeper and say, what's the impact it's having though? Right? When I go to that school
Yeah.
board meeting and I'm screaming at another parent that like, how dare you teach this in my school or whatever it is,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
do you genuinely believe that that's kindness, that that's helping the world make the, even if you believe there's an issue that needs to be fixed, you can't believe that's
Hmm.
the way to solve it. But I don't know. Maybe I'm too idealistic. Maybe somebody would say that, but that's I can't help but imagine that.
I don't know because also like in that example, right? Going to the school board meeting, screaming at somebody, I can't believe it. Your children are watching.
Mm. Mm.
The next generation of people that you have the privilege to raise, to put out in the world, to make it a better place than they arrived to it, are watching that behavior and seeing the example that you were setting, right? I don't have human children. We have dogs.
Mhm.
So, um, but I know this from my nieces and nephews, right? They are always watching.
Mhm.
They are always watching. And so it is my job to be on best behavior,
Mhm.
even when they're not watching, because they'll know.
Mhm.
They'll
But
know.
somebody would say, I would imagine, actually, I wouldn't imagine, I've heard people say it, good, good. I want my kid watching because this is me fighting to save our schools or save America or save freedom. And like that's that piece where like they believe, and who am I to judge, right?
Sure.
Maybe again, maybe I'm idealistic, but they believe like, yeah, I'm teaching my kid that you fight for what you believe in, you protect the things that matter, you don't let people roll over you, and that's what makes this messy.
Yeah. But then what happens when that kid has a different point of view? Are you then going to yell and scream at them? Right. I don't know.
Well, there's a
I don't
degree
know.
this word comes up maybe more. I think maybe it's the most important trait in anything because it allows for every other important trait. To me, it's humility. Because
Mm.
how arrogant would you have to be to say, I am so certain I am right on this topic that I'm first of all willing to go scream at this person in the school board. I'm willing to teach my kid this is the way it is. Like, how arrogant would you have to be to place that bet to say, I know
Right.
I'm doing it right and I'm willing to cause this cascade of events and actions to happen? And I get it. We got to take action in life. We have to make decisions. Sometimes we do have to be decisive and deliberate.
Yeah.
But without that humility to at least question, to at least think for a second, like, is this the right approach? So to me, it comes back to that. That's so important. The humility to have that.
Yeah. Gosh,